Hello and a very warm welcome. Driver ratings for the Chinese Grand Prix. All 20 drivers covered. 0 being awful, 10 being phenomenal. All 20 drivers covered. 1000th race weekend. By God, it was a shit race. Let's be real about it. But here we go. All 20 drivers covered. Leave your comments down below whether you agree, disagree. But here we go. We'll start with a Mexican. The underrated Mexican. Sergio Perez, the best tyre saver. Always looks after his tyres. He's hugely underrated. Amazing race for P8. P8 in the Force India. Qualified 12th, I believe. Did he qualify 12th? Yes, he did. Perez, he's just underrated. Got his chance in McLaren that time, but probably will never get a chance in the big team again. Lance Stroll, 3 out of 10. Very, very average. Becoming the best starter in F1. He's really good at starts. We don't have Alonso anymore. Stroll seems to always get great starts. But average, pretty poor. Perez is in the points, so why aren't you, Lance? Because bad qualifying once again. Just struggles in qualifying, finishes 12th in the race. Hulkenberg, 5 out of 10. Standard 5. Another issue for Nico Hulkenberg. Retired at Bahrain, retires at Shanghai, China. P8 in qualifying, another issue in the race. Time and time again, issues. Renault. What is wrong? It's just not very good for Hulkenberg. He was running in the points, and another issue gives him a retirement. Daniel Ricciardo, 8 out of 10. First points for Renault, best of the rest all weekend. 7th in qualifying, 7th in the race. 8 out of 10 for the Aussie. First points for his new Renault team, so there we have it. Lewis Hamilton, 9 out of 10. Dominated the race, championship leader, 75 wins, led every single lap. Strange weekend for Hamilton. Nowhere in practice, nowhere in qualifying. Then he nearly gets pole, and then he's not been very good at starts. He nailed the start, he wins the race. Valtteri Bottas, 9 out of 10. Mercedes, 1-2 every single race. Unbelievable when Ferrari have got the pace they have. That Mercedes, 1-2. Bottas, Hamilton, Bottas. 9 out of 10 for the finishman. Pole position, brilliant all weekend. He lost the race at the start, but a solid weekend for Bottas. Sebastian Vettel, 8 out of 10. On the podium in the Ferrari for the 1000th race, but solid all weekend. P3 in qualifying, P3 in the race. Had that good battle with Max, but the bullshit team orders is a disgrace. Charles Leclerc, 7 out of 10. Solid, no mistakes. Well, solid, no mistakes, completely shafted by Ferrari. Vettel was quicker, they let Vettel go through. Vettel has a go at the Mercedes. He gets in free air, he's locking up. They should have let Leclerc back through and say to Vettel, well, we let you have a go, now overtake Charles Leclerc legitimately. They shafted his race. Then they kept him out. Max pits. Vettel only just gets ahead of Max when he pits. So you got to pit Charles Leclerc. Otherwise he's going to lose the position to Max. He loses the position to Max. And his race, he finishes 5th when he should have at least been 4th at worst. Shafted by the Scuderia once again. On to Max, the Dutchman. 7 out of 10. Solid. No mistakes. Battering Gasly, hammering Gasly. Went for the dive bomb on Seb. Good little battle. Got pushed wide. Brought the car home. Pierre Gasly, 6 out of 10. Best weekend in Red Bull so far. Fastest lap in the race. But hugely worrying. I mean, Gasly, he qualified 6th, finished 6th. His best weekend in a Red Bull, but very worrying his pace. He's just not on Max's pace. 0.8 off in qualifying, finished miles behind him in the race. Of course, he did that extra pit stop, but even without the pit stop, he was a long way behind. Hugely worrying for the Frenchman. Alexander Albon, 6 out of 10. Now, 6 out of 10, I want to give him 8, I want to give him 9, but it's got to be 6. I do these ratings legitimately. No favoritism. It's got to be 6 because he made the huge mistake in practice 3. And that huge mistake in practice 3 is why he never got to do qualifying and why he was starting from the pit lane. But his race was unbelievable. Kvyat, howler of a race. Albon goes from the pit lane to 10th. Manages to hold off Grosjean. Brilliant by Albon. But he's got to learn them blue flags. Let Vettel pass, lost at least a second, 2 seconds. Can't be doing that. Danny Kvyat, 2 out of 10. The torpedo strikes again. It was a good qualifying. He qualifies P11, but in the race, he smashes into both McLarens, and it was a horrid race. Caused the first lap pilot, retires. Danny Kvyat is a quick driver, but he's contact prone. Who else is like that? Romain Grosjean, contact prone. Giovinazzi. This may be harsh, but this is the reality. 0. He's not good enough. He gets battered by Kimi Raikkonen every single weekend. Kimi's scoring points, so why isn't Giovinazzi? To be fair to Giovinazzi, he missed practice 1, he missed qualifying, so it's not been a great weekend. He's hardly had the time on the track, but if we're being honest, he's just not good enough, is he? At the top level. Kimi Raikkonen, 8 out of 10. Gave us the best racing moments, very racy, solid points, very consistent, 8 out of 10. Now, we'll do the Williams boys. I find it very difficult to rate the Williams boys because we're judging them on Williams' pace. They're in a different race to everyone else, so I'll just give them a standard 5. Kubica, Russell. Very hard to rate them. Russell beats Kubica in qualifying in the race again. I worry for Robert Kubica. He's getting beat every week by Russell. Kubica, we know he's talented, but it's painful. Last every weekend. Lando Norris, 3 out of 10. He's been my star of the season so far, Lando Norris, but a very tough weekend at China. Bad qualifying, 15th, and then in the race, it wasn't his fault, but not a very good weekend for Norris. I mean, he gets hit by Kvyat, huge damage, later retires. Carlos Sainz, 3 out of 10. Another one. Bad qualifying, 14th. McLaren, no pace. Wasn't his fault. Gets taken out by Kvyat. Probably damage on the car. He comes home in... Where did he come home? 14th. And then last but not least, the Haas boys. Grosjean, Magnussen. Great qualifying by the Haas boys. Magnussen's 9th. Grosjean's 10th. Once again, we saw it in Bahrain. You have a good qualifying, your race pace is nowhere. Same in China. Decent qualifying in the top 10, no race pace. Grosjean nearly got in the points, was all over the back of Alexander Albon, going down the long straight, had DRS wide open, but couldn't get past the soft voice Thai/British driver. Does have a soft voice, does Ali Albon. So, Grosjean, Magnussen, 4 out of 10. Horrible race pace. So, who scored highly, who scored lowly? Lowly was Giovinazzi, Kvyat, Stroll. High rated is Bottas, it's Hamilton, it's Perez, Ricciardo. They all got solid 8s from that. Ricciardo, Perez, Raikkonen, 8s. Albon, maybe he does deserve a bit higher rating, but let's be real, he made a big mistake in practice 3, right before qualifying, couldn't go out to do qualifying because of his mistake. So you gotta rate them fairly. Like I say, no favoritism here. So there we have it, all 20 drivers covered, Chinese Grand Prix done. That's qualifying reaction, race reaction, driver ratings all done. 2 weeks time we go to Baku, and Baku has thrown some worldies up. You have the Vettel road rage in 2017. 2018, you have the Red Bulls colliding. Oh, can't wait for Baku. Hopefully Leclerc's good round that track. Hopefully he can get that first win that he deserves. But Ferrari, most iconic team. Hang your heads in shame. It's disgusting, these team orders. And Ferrari are best known for it. But there we have it. Driver ratings complete. Adios. Thanks for watching.